This will be a model review of the Bell 872D motor grader. It's the same as the John Deere 872D, I believe, with other than the decals. This is the high detail version with the opening engine compartments. This is kind of a basic grader. It's not a great model, but I bought it for the wheels off of it. So if you're just going to use this model for parts, it's good. Other than that, I don't recommend getting this motor grader. On the front axle, there's what looks to be the tie rod and then a couple cylinders there, and allow for about, I don't know, maybe 10 degrees of wheel articulation each way. It's pretty sad. On the front, you've got a couple lights on there, and then of course both the lift cylinders. It looks like there's supposed to be simulated lights on the front of the cab, but can't really tell. There's also a grab rail and a couple steps leading up to the cab. The cab inside's actually got some detail to it at least. It's not horrible. I've seen worse. As for the back of the machine, it actually looks alright back there. It's got a slow moving vehicle triangle, and then of course a functioning ripper, which actually does work pretty good. I'll reach down into the ground there, and then also it folds up nice out of the way. So I like that ripper quite a bit. Probably the best feature of the model, sadly. Of course, like I said, the engine compartments do open, engine panels. Let's see if we can get them to open here. I don't know if they'll open now or not. They were opening a little bit ago, just by shaking it around, but there we go. There's several panels that open, but it's very marginal detail on the inside. The panels do fit very well on the back of the grader, though. If you didn't know they opened, you wouldn't really be. It wouldn't be easy to guess that they open anyway. And then on the top of the back of the motor grader, you've got an exhaust and air intake, which actually both look pretty good. The model has hydraulic articulation, probably about 15 degrees of movement either way. Of course, now the engine doors start popping open. And now to the worst part of this model, and that's the moldboard. The moldboard itself is made out of plastic. You can probably see it in the sunlight. It's kind of like see-through. It's pretty bad. It's pretty flimsy. It's also really big. This moldboard's 16 foot wide by 1/50th scale. I don't think this motor grader came with a 16 foot moldboard option. I think it came with a maximum of 14 foot. But anyway, the moldboard lifts up to about there. The cylinders on this thing are pretty bad. So the moldboard will lift up to that height there, and then it lowers down to about there. It doesn't even go all the way to the ground because the front, the carriage that attaches the turn circle follows up with this tie rod between the two front wheels, and it won't lower below that because it comes up against that. So the blade doesn't really reach all the ground. You can press it there, but it won't stay there. The blade does rotate. I guess it could rotate 360 degrees maybe if you were really motivated, but it just catches with everything else. And then it's got what looks to be a blade tilting cylinder, and then you realize it doesn't have anything to tilt the blade. The blade doesn't slide back and forth. The carriage does move side to side a little bit, the blade carriage. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's see here. It sort of moves side to side, but not really. So anyway, that's a model review of the 872D. I really don't like this model very much. I bought it for the wheels and tires off of it, which do look pretty good on other grader models. But I would recommend getting either the Caterpillar 14M or maybe the Komatsu motor grader from First Gear if you're looking for a construction size grader. So, as always, let me know what you think of the video, and then watch the next collection update as it's coming out before too long.